Ever wondered why some things are described as black and white? In English, it's more than just colors. Let's dive into the world of idioms, where black and white refers to something that is clear-cut or straightforward. You might say, the rules are black and white, meaning they're unambiguous and easy to understand. Next up, we have in the black. If you're in the black, it means you're profitable or have a positive financial status. Picture a business owner saying, after a successful year, our company is finally in the black. On the flip side, in the red signifies being in debt or having a negative financial status. If your bank account is in the red, it's time to reassess your spending habits. Out of the black and out of the red are the hopeful counterparts of the previous idioms. If you're out of the black, you're emerging from financial difficulty, while if you're out of the red, you've recovered from a financial loss. Moving on, the black market isn't a place where everything is black. It refers to the illegal buying or selling of goods or services. For example, he bought the rare artifact from the black market. Now, what about a black sheep? Well, it's not about the color of the sheep. It's a term for a person who is considered a disgrace to their family or group. For instance, he's always been the black sheep of the family. Ever been to a black tie event? This idiom denotes a formal dress code typically worn at evening events. It's not just about wearing a black tie, but about dressing up in your finest. And what about being blackout drunk? It means to be so intoxicated that one cannot remember what happened, like he drank so much at the party that he was blackout drunk. Lastly, if someone is described as black and blue, it means they're bruised or injured. You might hear, after the accident, Tom was black and blue. So, black and white aren't just colors on the palette, they paint vivid pictures in English idioms too. Seeing red, feeling blue, these aren't just feelings, they're colorful idioms. Let's dive into the wonderful world of red and blue idioms. First up, red tape. This idiom doesn't have anything to do with actual tape. It refers to excessive bureaucracy or administrative procedures. For example, you might say, I wanted to start my own business, but the red tape was overwhelming. Next, we have red-handed, which means caught in the act of doing something wrong. If your sibling sneaks into the cookie jar and you catch them, they've been caught red-handed. Ever been blue in the face? No, it doesn't mean you're turning into a smurf. It means being extremely angry, frustrated, or exhausted. If you've been arguing with someone for hours, you might say, I argued until I was blue in the face, but he just wouldn't listen. Out of the blue is another popular phrase. It means something that happens unexpectedly or without warning. One day out of the blue, your best friend might surprise you with a visit. Have you heard the phrase once in a blue moon? A blue moon is a rare event, so this idiom means something that happens very rarely or infrequently. For example, I only eat ice cream once in a blue moon. Now let's paint the town red. This fun idiom means to go out and celebrate extravagantly. After the final exams, you might decide to paint the town red with your friends. Ever received the red carpet treatment? This means receiving special treatment or VIP reception. On your graduation, your family might give you the red carpet treatment. Red flag is a warning sign or indication of potential danger. If someone constantly avoids answering your questions, it could be a red flag. Similarly, we have red flag warning. It's a stronger phrase used to signal danger or potential harm. For example, the dark clouds are a red flag warning of an incoming storm. Lastly, blue blood. This idiom refers to a person of noble or aristocratic descent. If your ancestors were kings and queens, you might be considered blue blood. So, seeing red and feeling blue can mean a whole lot more in the world of English idioms. Ever been green with envy or met a yellow-bellied person? Let's explore these colorful idioms. When you're green with envy, you're not turning into an emerald-colored creature. No, this phrase simply means you're extremely jealous or envious of someone. For instance, if your best friend just got a brand new car, you might be green with envy. Next up, green thumb. If someone compliments you on your green thumb, they're not commenting on your unusual skin pigmentation. They're praising your natural talent for gardening. So, if your roses are blooming and your tomatoes are thriving, you've got a green thumb. Then we have green light. This idiom doesn't refer to a traffic signal, but it means approval to proceed or go ahead with something. For example, if your boss gives you the green light on a project, it means you can start working on it. And let's not forget the green-eyed monster. This isn't some creature from a horror movie. It's actually a metaphor for jealousy or envy. If the green-eyed monster is gnawing at you, it means you're feeling envious. Now let's move on to yellow. If someone is yellow-bellied, they're not suffering from a strange medical condition. This idiom means they're cowardly or timid. A yellow-bellied person might back out of a challenge or avoid taking risks. Yellow journalism is another interesting idiom. It refers to sensationalized or exaggerated news reporting. So if a newspaper is filled with lurid headlines and little factual reporting, it's engaging in yellow journalism. Lastly, we have yellow streak. Just like a yellow-bellied person, someone with a yellow streak is considered cowardly or timid. So if someone accuses you of having a yellow streak, they're not complimenting your fashion sense. So being green or yellow in English idioms isn't always about the color of your clothes. White lies, gray areas, and more. Let's dive into the colorful world of English idioms. Let's start with a white lie. This is a harmless, trivial lie we tell to avoid hurting someone's feelings. For example, if your friend asks if you like their new haircut and you don't, you might still say, "It looks great." Next, we have the white elephant, which refers to something expensive to maintain or useless. If you've ever owned a car that's always in the repair shop, you've had a white elephant on your hands. Now let's venture into the gray area. This is a situation that's unclear or hard to categorize. For instance, the rules about using your phone at work might be a gray area if they're not clearly defined. From gray, we move to white collar. This term refers to office or professional work, often done in an office or cubicle. So, if you're working on a computer all day, you're a white-collar worker. The white knuckle experience is next on our list. This refers to a thrilling or nerve-wracking event. For example, riding a roller coaster can be a white-knuckle experience. Switching gears to pink, we have the pink slip. This is not a piece of clothing, but an idiom meaning to be fired or dismissed from a job. If your boss hands you a pink slip, it's time to update your resume. In the same hue, we find pink collar. This term refers to jobs traditionally held by women, like secretarial or service industry positions. A pink-collar worker might be a nurse or a teacher. Moving on to the silver lining, this is the positive aspect in a negative situation. For instance, missing your bus might be frustrating, but the silver lining could be that you get some extra exercise by walking. A golden opportunity is an excellent chance or opportunity. If you're offered a job in your dream field, that's a golden opportunity you don't want to miss. The purple patch is a period of good fortune or success. If your team is on a winning streak, they're in a purple patch. Lastly, we have brownie points, which are merits or approval earned by doing good deeds. If you help your neighbor with their groceries, you might earn some brownie points. And there you have it. English idioms are a rainbow of expressions, each color adding a unique shade of meaning. As we wrap up our colorful journey through English idioms, let's quickly recap. We began by painting everything in black and white, where things were straightforward and clearly defined. Then, we took a leap into the financial world with in the black symbolizing profitability and in the red representing debt. We then dove into a sea of emotions where we turned green with envy, fumed until we were blue in the face, and felt yellow-bellied with fear. We also discovered that having a green thumb has nothing to do with paint, but everything to do with gardening. Our journey then moved into the world of bureaucracy with red tape, and we learned that catching someone red-handed doesn't involve any actual pain. We also explored the unexpected with out of the blue and the infrequent with once in a blue moon. We ventured into the uncertain gray areas and discovered the harmless white lies. We also met the white elephant, a burdensome possession, and the dreaded pink slip, a symbol of job dismissal. Remember how we painted the town red in celebration and relished our golden opportunities? We found a silver lining in every cloud and earned brownie points for our good deeds. Our exploration took us to the pink collar jobs, the red carpet treatment, and the cautionary red flags. We also experienced the blackout from overindulgence and the thrill of a white-knuckle experience. Lastly, we learned about the green light of approval, the hard-working blue-collar workers, and the clandestine black market. We also met the black sheep, the blue bloods, and came face-to-face with the green-eyed monster. As you can see, English is a language that loves its colors, using them in many idioms to paint vivid pictures and convey complex ideas. These idioms add a dash of vibrancy to our conversations, making them more engaging and expressive. So next time you hear color idioms, you'll know they're not just about the colors but a colorful way to express ideas and feelings in English.